Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. This is going to be the most important segment of today's show. We had David Prince from the Eagle Gun Range on last week, and we just wanted to have a local guy who's in the gun business to talk about the ban on guns at the Texas State Fair. But in doing the research for the segment, I found out something important's happening that David Prince is a part of. They're doing some fundraisers for the fallen officer, Darren Burks, and then the two other officers that were shot. And I said, listen, we got to have you back on next week to talk a little bit more about this. And so this is us making good on that promise to do something for the community here. David Prince, welcome back to the James Show. Tell me more about the fundraisers you have going on.
Well, thank you for letting me come back on. And fundraisers we put together just to help the family. You know, the police officers are standing in the gap for us, and we're trying to stand in the gap for these families. We've donated a really nice FN 510 10-millimeter firearm, and Shadow Systems donated one of their 9-millimeter. They're worth both about $1,000 each, and for everybody that buys a ticket for $5, they get a chance to win one of those two great firearms. We take 100% of those proceeds, and we cut a check to the family, and our customers have been really good about donating in the past. But I tell you what, WBA listeners have been phenomenal. I can't tell you, we've worked with other DJs on WBAP, and our phones start ringing as soon as the interview's up. I mean, they really love the Blue, and we're hoping that this conversation that you gracefully let me have would generate some more interest. We just want to raise money for this family.
All right, two questions. When is the raffle drawing held? So when's the deadline to get tickets is really what I'm asking. And number two, how do you get tickets?
Thank you so much for asking. That September 30th is the last moment you can buy. We're drawing October 1st, about 11 o'clock in the morning. You can go online to www.eaglegunrangetx.com, and you can donate there, or you can call our either one of our ranges, and they will take your donation over the phone or even sell you a raffle ticket over the phone. We'd love to have you come in one of our two locations and buy them there in Louisville and Farmers Branch. You can go on our website and get the addresses and the telephone number. But phone number is 972-353-4867, 353-4867, and eaglegunrangetx.com. And make your donations or get some more information on it. The pictures of the firearms that are there and a tribute to the officers there. We'd love people to help us out. We just want to love on this family a little bit.
Okay, so there's two guns, but there's only one raffle ticket to buy. That's
correct. So
okay.
That is correct. You buy one raffle, it goes in the first raffle. We call the winner, and they get a choice of which firearm they want. We call the second winner. And then we also have some memberships. They're free memberships to the range, and if they have those firearms. And sometimes we've had people just donate the firearms back, and we re-raffle them. So it's just we've got wonderful customers, and y'all have wonderful listeners.
All right. Well, last time I had you on, there was some stuff I didn't know that you just sprung on me. Let's do that again. What do I need to ask that I'm not asking?
No, I'm sorry you sprung it on because it's something really that we were trying to do. Your listeners and our customers and great employees have raised almost $500,000 for fallen officers over these last 10 years. And we love them, and I know y'all do too. And we just want to love on those families. They're hurting.
Bro, I saw the update on one of the officers has lost sight in both eyes and probably not getting it back. And so even the ones that survived what happened in that ambush there, you know, I feel so bad because, I mean, I don't even know their names. I know Darren Burke's name, but I don't even know the other two's name.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on their names as well. What we're trying to do is just help the ones that have fallen. There's so many of them that get hurt on the job. We just have so little resources that we can pull together. So we work with the ones that have passed away, and then the Police Officer Association and the city take care of the ones that are still living. I was told that if she retained one side at least, they would put her back to work and some kind of desk job. But being blind, I'm not sure in both eyes what's going to be her course. But I just feel bad for all the families.
Well, it's an awful story. We all feel bad about it. And then the next question is, what can we do about it? Well, this is something. Raffle ticket, it's something. We're not asking a whole lot. How much is a raffle ticket?
$5, and we've raised about $4,000 now. We usually raise close to $10 for these officers, and we'd love to make the $10,000 mark, but we only have about a week left. So
All right.
Need everybody to step up.
David Prince, you're doing God's work over there. If you want to help out, EagleGunRangeTX.com, EagleGunRangeTX.com. Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me on.
That's so sad. Someone gave up their vision to protect us, and we don't even know their names. That's why it's a noble profession. That's why we don't say F the police. That's why we don't say all cops are bad. That's why we say we're the ones with the thin blue line sticker. Sad story. 800-288-9227. Coming up next, I was just talking to Ken Paxton on Friday. There's another lawsuit that's happening because the question really is, would you rather have $2 a gallon gas next time you fill up? Or do you want the brown version of the sagebrush lizard to have its habitat unspoiled? Would you rather have Iran handing out billions of dollars in oil revenue to terrorists, or the brown version of the sagebrush lizard? Details coming up next on The James Show. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey there, welcome to The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. 800-288-9227 if you want to be a part of the conversation. 800-288-9227, because I'm going to ask you some real easy questions. I mean, these are just window licker questions right here. Would you rather have $2 a gallon gas or the brown version of the sagebrush lizard? Well, certainly, most of us would think $2 a gallon gas. So now there's other people out there who hear that and be like, well, we shouldn't be making entire species and populations go extinct just so we can have a convenient... Shut up. Stop. The people that just regurgitate that have done no studying into this. Now, listen, I talked about this was it in the spring? I think it was in like March or something. There was like the lawsuit was happening, or the endangered listing, or maybe it was even January. But this is a back and forth. And you know what's really going on here. This whole environmentalism concern is just a facade to stop oil and gas drilling. These people hate oil and gas drilling. They want to stop it anywhere and everywhere they possibly can, whether it's Greta Thunberg or Kamala Harris, whether it's letting you drill offshore or drill on federal lands, or if you do get to drill, maybe you can't frack, use the most efficient and productive technology out there. They don't want you. They don't want you doing it. So the concern here, the fake concern, I should say, is for the sagebrush lizard. What's the sagebrush lizard? You don't know. Nobody knows. People that are saying this don't know. But there's a lot of chicanery going on behind the scenes that, without even knowing the details, you can probably intuitively guess. Number one, the sagebrush lizard is not its own species. The environmentalists realize that, of all this one type of lizard, there's no way that it's about to go extinct. But this one color of it, the ones that are inherently this sort of browny beige color that live in this more sandy climate down here, well, if we can get them reclassified as their own species, even though they can interbreed and produce fertile offspring with the green versions of the same lizard, if we can lie and get the scientific community to say this is a separate species, then we can consider them endangered, because that would make their numbers so small, and then we can therefore control their habitat. So the whole thing's built on a lie, number one. Number two, even if they were endangered, if they went away, would you miss them? No. And I don't delight in making animals go extinct, but animals go extinct every day. More than 99% of all the species that have ever existed on Earth have already gone extinct. Everything that's on Earth right now on a long enough time scale will probably go extinct, unless you're like a single cell amoeba or something. You and I will go extinct too. It's the natural course of things. But the trade-offs here are huge. It's not just that they seek to diminish oil at every turn. Look, I don't know if they're true believers in that environmentalism stuff, or they're the pigs in the farmhouse and animal farm that are getting to call the shots over this. But the way this affects you and me every day is at the pump. The way this affects you and me every day is where this money ends up going. And so what if we actually just consistently, from administration to administration, we supported our oil industry, and we deregulated, and we opened it up, and we let them go to the most useful lands and use the most useful techniques with the most useful tools. Then we also, when it's time to transport it, we use the most useful, efficient forms of transportations, i.e. pipelines and not trucks. Oh no, the Keystone XL pipeline. Yes. What would happen? Would October 7th had happened? We don't know. But Iran didn't have the disposable income to be funding all these fun little Jewish extermination projects that you've seen as of late. What's more important, preventing another October 7th or the brown version of the sagebrush lizard? What's more important, having Texas being the leadest producer of the most important commodity on planet Earth or the brown version of the sagebrush lizard? And if we are the leading producer of the most important commodity on planet Earth, think about all the high-paying jobs that go with that. The economic boost from all the money just like a magnet being sucked into our state. Think of all the tax revenue. Think of how good it would be for our infrastructure, for our schools, for our police, for our court system. Would you rather have all that or the brown version of the sagebrush lizard? I would like to hear from you if you disagree with me. I mean, if you agree, you can call too if you got a good point. But 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. This is an argument that when I'm hanging out with my liberal friends, and probably more than 50% of my friends I have that problem with, this is one they don't have an answer for. This is the same one as like none of them say men can have babies around me because they know they'll lose. But the real question is, would you rather have billions? Because it's not like we're not going to use oil. Well, if we leave this in the ground, then we're not going to create CO2 and we'll stop global warming and we'll save the planet. That's not even true. We'll just get the oil from Saudi Arabia or Iran or Yemen or Venezuela, Syria. And then the question becomes, do you want all these billions of dollars? Do you want the importance on the geopolitical stage? Do you want the power that comes with that disposable income? Do you want the jobs? Do you want the tax revenue? Do you want the economic boost? Do you want it coming to Texas or do you want it going to Yemen? Do you want it going to Venezuela? Where it's not really going to help the people. It'll just calcify the power of the Maduro family, who's going to exploit the petrodollars just like they do in Saudi Arabia, just like the royal family does in Syria, or just like the Ayatollahs do in Iran. It's not like if you keep it in the ground here, you're saving the planet because now we're not going to use it. We're just going to go get it from people who hate us. This is a terrible policy. This is a terrible excuse for a terrible policy. Even if this was a legitimate environmental concern where this sagebrush lizard, we might not have it anymore if we drilled. Do you still want to drill? The answer would be hell yes. But the real sad story is this lizard's not even in danger. They're exploiting the environmental sensibilities in order to do something that they wanted to do anyway. Stop oil production, control oil production, pick winners and losers. And it's all based on a lie. But even if it wasn't based on a lie, it's still terrible policy. And that concludes today's update on the sagebrush lizard. And man, it stinks because I just had Ken Paxton on Friday. I could have asked him about that if I'd have known this was going to be an issue, but here we are. All right, coming up next is the Mark Levin Show, so stick around for that. In the meantime, if you need more of the James Show, I have the James Show podcast. As soon as I finish up here, I'm going to go cut up some audio. I'll put it up. It will be available at WBAP.com and the WBAP app, or wherever you're already listening to podcasts. Just try me out there. And then let me know how you feel about me creating a gallery, like a music gallery of all the parody songs and funny little remixes and Eating the Cats and Tampon Tim songs and whatnot that we've had over the election. You want me to make a page for that on WBAP.com? Just send me a note and let me know. Facebook, Instagram, James at WBAP.com. And I'm telling you, man, we have a certified hit. This is the leading hit from the election season in 2024, the Tampon Tim song.
Grade school boys and grade school girls all need tampons all over the world. Once a month, their front holes bleed. There's just one thing they need. When you think about tampons, think Tampon Tim. When you think about tampons, think Tampon Tim. Tampon, tampon, tampon Tim. Little white torpedoes from a cotton gin. Tampon, tampon, tampon Tim. Have a tampon party with all your friends. When you think about tampons.
All right. If you find another good parody song that you hadn't heard on the James Show yet, feel free to send it to me, and I'll add it to the gallery. James at WBAP.com, or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter. You know how all this works. My name's James Parker. This has been The James Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.